All right, so BigHorn Kevin is live. All right, just trying to make this a little more. There we go. All righty, so bing. All right, let me know if everything's all right. I know I'm doing this on my laptop, not on my phone. I think my phone has a little bit greater video. We'll see. Yeah, that didn't help at all. Thought maybe the lens might be dirty. All right, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, like I said, we had a hum uh, live stream, or not live stream, a meetup call. We do it every Tuesday at noon uh, Pacific time, and I don't know if it's noon Arizona time. Right now, Arizona is in the Pacific time frame. Then here in November, we go back to the Mountain time frame, but we don't ever change our clock. It just depends on, like for me in Colorado, right now, everybody in Colorado is an hour ahead of me. And then back in November, when they switch back, then me and Colorado at the same time. So that's just it. So when I call my kids in Southern California, we're on the same time. November, they're an hour behind me. It's good. So anyway, we had this call. A lot of things are going up. Thanks to all the Phoenix folks in Hum that helped out with Bike Week, made that a big success. I know I went up there and just handed out cards, but when I went up there, I left here about 2 o'clock and went up there just to see how things were looking for Bike Week. And they were doing a lot of test drives and stuff up there, and waited for some people to show up. Eventually, Billy showed up, and David showed up, and all that good stuff. And any hoot. Hang on a second here. Give me a second, folks. Oh, I should have had my phone closer. Yeah, things are heating up. Yeah, they are. They're all heating up. They're heating up here in Phoenix because the 300's taking over rideshare. Uh, and I said this on my video that I just put out about the call, and it was towards the very end of it, but I'll kind of go with it now. And that is, man, let's take the 300, what we're doing here with the 300 in Phoenix. Let's make that nationwide, man, so that, hey, you guys got somebody coming into Phoenix, Bighorn Kev, Jeff, Billy Proctor, Juan Vargas, Triple E, wherever they're staying, we can even if they go to Lake Havasu, we've got Robin out there in Lake Havasu, just itching to freaking have fun with us, and I think that's great. Uh, now it's that, like I said, that's what happens if you have somebody coming to Phoenix. Now, say I got somebody that's going to Atlanta. I don't know who's in Atlanta right now. Have to do some research. By all means, let me see here. Do this for y'all. Oh, hang on. All right. There you go. That's my phone number. All right. Have somebody text me if they're coming from your area to Phoenix. All right. We can hook them up wherever they're staying. We've got some, I guarantee we almost have somebody in that neck of the woods here in Phoenix and in Arizona. Not sure who all we have in Tucson, but I know we have people down that are halfway between Tucson and Phoenix. And Home is getting ready to have their own director for Tucson operations. They're recruiting Tucson drivers now. Uh, Big market down there too. Got the U of A. Don't have necessarily the sports teams, and we're losing our hockey team. Granted, I am not a Coyotes fan, but I'm an Avalanche. I'm an everything Colorado fan. And the great thing about living in a city that had four sports is I get to see my teams at least every other year, probably. Football, hockey, I will see them every year. Basketball, see them every year. Baseball, multiple times a year. Same with football and hockey, or basketball and hockey. But yeah, kind of, man, I wish they could have took off here. But I mean, they couldn't even sell out Mullet Arena, which is a college arena, not near the capacity of your regular sports arena for basketball and stuff like that. And they couldn't reach a deal with Scottsdale. They couldn't reach a deal with uh, Glendale or whatever. And where they were over there, they couldn't keep up. And I mean, it's just like, man. And then ticket prices, especially for when they were staying here, playing here at ASU, they're not, they weren't even filling out like a 5,000 or, it was every team's other home game, it was just another home game for a visiting team. But the prices, man, I understand, hey, you got some commitment issues you got to meet because you've got this high priority uh, thing going on. You know. What up? Okay. Zip, shorts and longs. What's up? Hey, thank you for that. Nice to see that you're in here. Like I said, folks, we can have fun. I'm new. You see me on Jeff's channel, Mike Drop Barbecue. I'm no stranger to anybody, of at least my subscribers. I shouldn't be. But yeah, have fun, man. Feel free to talk about anything. It may take me a while to see. I'm kind of getting used to doing this too. I'm so used to Jeff's channel, freaking kind of just checking out the comments as I'm on and stuff like that when I'm on his StreamYard and stuff like that. I haven't got StreamYard yet, so can't have any special guests or anything like that. I'll work into that. But anyhow, thank you for showing up. And like I said, here, I just got mine yesterday, printed it out today. You really can't see it, but there it is. Yep, vehicle for hire permit. BigHorn Travel. That's what I'm going under. I get to use home as private insurance. And in the meeting today, too, I said this on my other video. I came up with a new name for hum, and I think they're going to go with it for what hum stands for. Their original thing was humanity. We learned in the Saturday meetup that, hey, in some Far East cultures, it means we. And I came up with something. And it was after I left that meeting. I was like, man, we sounds like a game that kids play. So I don't like that. And humanity, yeah, it's all right. But I said, here we go. Here you matter. All right. And if you think about rideshare and what hum is trying to do, this fits them to a T. Where you the driver matter, where you the rider matter. That's just it. They're looking out for the rider. It's pretty cool. Like I said, if it comes to your city, take it. All right. And I watched the professor's channel a little bit. Sorry, I'm trying to get myself equal there. Watch the professor's channel. He's warning about, do your research. I think they said it too at home. Do your research on these ride shares that are trying to pop up to knock off the big two. And that's just it. I mean, that's what rideshare is coming to. The big two have screwed us over for so long that nobody wants to be a part of them anymore. And sorry if my air conditioner keeps kicking on and off. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so the big two want to keep us out, or they want to screw us. They want to increase their profits, pay us less, and keep everything in between. And the rider gets a hit. We get a hit. We're not getting paid what we should get paid. And I tell you what, hum is perfect. It's, you can do it. You can use their app. And, right now, like I said, we're still battling to get recognition. And I think what it is a trust issue. People need to trust that when they schedule a ride or want a ride, somebody's going to show up. Right now, like I said, that's why we're looking for riders. We are looking for riders, and you say, but I don't want to pay, Kevin. I don't want to pay 29 bucks a month. Really? Really? And let me see here. Where's my phone? Let's just see what I've done. And I won't lie to you. I'm not the best. I'll guarantee you that. But do, 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 do. Where am I at here? Home driver. Do, do, do. Okay, earnings. Earnings. All right, so let's see what we got here. Boom. Let's not do that one. My bad, guys. Just give me a second here. Like I said, I'm still learning this freaking app. So, all right. So, through 16 days of driving with Hum, I made $269 off of 19 trips. I've missed 31 rides. And sometimes how that happens is I'll admit going out because every now and then I don't like sitting in the car all the time when I'm out. So every now and then I will uh, get out, walk around the car, maybe, take some trash to a dumpster or something like that or whatever while I'm out and about. And sometimes I do miss a call, or sometimes I have to miss a ride because it's just not profitable. You still got to be profitable. And I know somebody yesterday, if you watched my ride along with the Hum, using the Hum app, with the app generating a ride for me, uh, it took one guy applied $10 for a half an hour. Is that really good? And he didn't want to be that guy that brought it up, but hey, it was a good point. Now the point being that hey, I took if I would have went to the zoo instead of going around all these trails, I went to behind the zoo, and in I'm sitting there waiting for a guy, waiting, and took and I wasn't speeding, I wasn't doing 50 miles an hour around. So yeah, that ride got extended probably 10 minutes more than it should have. Should have just been a 20-minute ride for 10 bucks. But it's 10 bucks that I got to keep. Uber, Lyft, they would have shot me that ride. It would have been probably $5 or $6 for me. All right. And who knows, they may have charged the rider 14, you know. Uh, but like I said, that's their ride. They came up with all the deals, and hey, it was sweet. It was a couple with their I want to say 2-year-old kid at the most. She was in her car seat. That was fine with me. That's what I like to is, and this is what I say to all you riders out there. I don't care if you're with Hum or not. Don't take kids that are going to be held in mom's lap or dad's lap or whatever. They need a car seat because all you're doing is setting that next driver up for failure because you allowed it to happen. You know. But anyway, so 269, 19 trips. Let's see what that averages out to be. I haven't even looked. 269 divided by 19. Looking at $14.15 a trip average. Uh, so doing good. Like I said, about 3 of those are now manual rides, and the other are or through the apps. Like I said, there's a couple people here, and like I said, this one girl I pick up. I drive her 3 miles in the morning. But what I like about it is she's a regular. She comes in as soon as she gets in the car. She sets up the ride through the app. She hits, and then my thing goes off. I accept the ride, and away we go. So it works out pretty good. She tips. Any girl that tips is freaking fine with me. She's a young lady, and I'm not going to say where she works or anything like that because hey, she deserves her privacy too. But it's great. Let's see who else we got there. Hey, Melvin, how you doing, man? Thanks for showing up, man. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate that. Uh, Melvin, I mean, he's wanting to take up. If Hum gets to San Antonio or somewhere in Texas, Melvin's going to be a point man for that, guaranteed. And Melvin, if you ever have anybody coming into Phoenix or whatever, and they need a ride, man, hook us up. You got my number right there at the top of the screen or the top of the chat. Feel free to use it. Thank you, man. I appreciate you here to support me. Sorry, maybe I should put my glasses on, but sometimes they throw a different glow back on the screen, so I don't really do that. But anyway, man, appreciate the support. And like I said, what I'm going to do with this live streams basically is Jeff had to go to the dentist today. So I don't know how he's going to be feeling even to drive, much less do a live stream. I'm sure he might suck it up and do one. You never know. But my job, what I want to do here is be that live stream fill in. Sweet, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Uh, but you know, I I think, you know, oh yeah, Jeff, he's not gonna. What I want to do with this is when I know he's not feeling good, or you know, maybe he's out freaking getting those manual rides from home, man. I tell you what, man, when you see him work, to meet him in person, I mean, you can't help but feel the energy. I will admit that. I mean, that I say it all the time on his channel and everything. He just provides that energy. So when I support his channel, hell yeah, it's money well spent because I'm feeling good about myself after watching one of his live streams, watching his videos and stuff like that. Uh, you know, do Jeff and I agree on everything? Not really. And I'm not going to point out the differences because they're minor. They're who cares? You know, he does his thing, I do my thing. We both make money because we make smart decisions. Do we make the same smart decisions? No. But what we do is we support each other. We're here for each other. Uh, you know, if he needs a ride, I'm there. You know, same with Kareem, same with Billy and shit like that. There you are. BME is what it's all about. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I like that. Big man. Is that big man energy? Because I'm a big man. I'm a big boy. Uh, so some stuff you guys probably don't know about me. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm a Navy veteran. Been all over the Pacific, man. Freaking a little island in the middle of the Indian Ocean called Diego Garcia. I've been there, done that. Walked around the island. You can literally walk around the island in a couple hours. That's how small it is. Around the island. I'm not talking taking shortcuts halfway through. But yeah, so I'm a 20-year Navy vet. After that, I retired at 38. Hey, I'm at 38. I'm not. There's no way I'm retiring for life at 38. I would have loved to, but I got on with the Department of Transportation there in Colorado, working up in the ski areas, Summit County, ski areas of Breckenridge, Keystone, Vail, well, Breckenridge, Keystone. I forgot what the other one is on the other side, but Steamboat, stuff like that, man. I worked all Summit County. I plowed every road on that fucking Summit County. And with the exception of Loveland Pass, I plowed up to the foot of Loveland Pass, but that was it. Loveland Pass goes up and over a lot of avalanche area, a lot of whiteout conditions, a lot of no guardrail when you're making switchback turns. Not for this kid. Sorry, I limit my thrill seeking to putting my life in serious danger. What I did for the Navy, I was a jet engine mechanic and related systems. So I worked on fuel cells, rotor blades, prop blades, engines, fuel tanks, you know, all that good shit. And then I was also an air crewman, did search and rescue later in my career. And I always say, you know, I worked on helicopters and jumped out of those perfectly good helicopters. So that's a little bit. And then my parents, my dad was a jack of all trades, had several jobs throughout his life, passed away at the young age of 54. So I've even outlived my dad. And but my mom married an Aurora fire chief, a bat chief. You know anything about the fire business? He was pretty well out there. He was in charge of the training department out there in Aurora. And my mom did 32 years with the Denver District Attorney's Office. She was one of the first victim advocates in the nation. They set up a program. My mom got raped at age 28, and she helped. She got through it. Guy was found guilty, went to prison. In fact, I even went to his parole hearing, and I just flat out told him, "Frickin', you've done your time. I appreciate that. Do not come after my mother. If you do, the Navy has trained me how to kill you, and I will. So leave my mother alone. Go have fun. Enjoy the rest of your life." And I never have heard from them. But anyway, so they were retired in Colorado. They built a dream home up in the mountains, and they were there for about 2 years. And on their third winter, they were just like, "Why do we need to be cold?" So they became snowbirds to Arizona. They stayed at a place out in Brenda, Arizona. It's just east of Quartzsite on Highway 60. And cute little place, man. They built their own park model. They had their own fifth wheel. Man, they just enjoyed the shit out of. They have it, and in fact, I will say this: they have enjoyed the hell out of their retirement. They haven't worked since 55. They both retired at age 55. They have not worked since then. So hats off to them. But anyway, so that's what brought me down to Arizona. I originally came down here to go to MMI, Motorcycle Mechanics Institute. Wanted to get back into the wrench turning. Missed that from being in the Navy. And, so did that. I became a service advisor, rider, whatever you want to call it. And did that. And then my stepdad had a stroke and put a strain on my mom. And I needed to be around to help out without having to. Yeah, tell you what, Melvin, yes. Uh, we, the 300 out here, man, freaking between Jameel, aka Jim, uh, DeAndre, Billy, Triple E, Juan Vargas, and stuff like that. We've all got each other's backs out here, man, and it's cool that we can do that because, like I said, we kind of cover all of Phoenix with all of us. So we can definitely do that, man. Freaking, we can help people out and stuff. So that's that. Like I said, my main thing here is when Jeff's not available, I would like to be available, and hopefully I can keep growing in subscribers and keeping you guys pumped up with his positive energy because that's what I feel, man. I feel great about doing this stuff, man. It's freaking awesome. I like meeting people. I've always loved doing that. I met, when my last probably 5 years in the Navy, or 3 years in the Navy, should say that, and that's 3 years. I was on shore duty, and I had part time worked myself up from a doorman at a country western bar there in San Diego to bartender, and I met a lot of famous people, sports people. I've met Chris Berman from ESPN, a bunch of ESPN commentators. I've met wrestlers. I've met football players, baseball players. I've met Randy Johnson. I've met John Elway. Got him to sign my jersey, man. Freaking threw my jersey on the bar. Said, "If you sign that, your tab is taken care of." So that hangs up in my wall, my "I love me" wall, with all my Navy attributes and freaking that. And what the funny thing was is Bubby Brister was the backup quarterback. It was the year they went to the Super Bowl and played the Packers and won the first one. And it was cool. Bubby Brister was like next to him, and he goes, "Do you want me to sign that?" And "Is your name John Elway?" No. But yeah, so yes, like I said, and I told my mom this last year on my birthday. I said, "You know what, Mom? If for some reason I have to go, I've lived a great life. And, I have no regrets. And I have no regrets doing rideshare, to be honest with you, because it allows me that if my stepdad or my mom need me to get them around or to help with around the house, putting up, you know, bringing in new furniture, whatever, I'm there to help them. I don't have to schedule time off at work, take a day off. Uh, you know, from a W-2, I don't have to schedule time off. I don't have to, if it's a busy day, I don't have to find somebody to take my place. I don't have to worry about, oh man, how much, I don't know if I have enough time to take off. I don't have enough vacation time. That's what being an independent contractor is so great about here, is that take, you can control your time, you can control your destiny, you know. So you guys that work 80 hours, my hat is off to you because I can't do 80 hours a week. There's no way. I mean, 7 days, I've done 7 days a week, but I've only done like 4 or 5 hours a day, so I get the rest of the day to have fun, go to the pool, frickin' go see some of the attractions around here or whatever, go see a movie, you know, uh, be on a live stream, whatever. I can do that, because I'm making, and I mean, this is where Jeff and I definitely agree. Smarter decisions equal better profits, man. Uh, in fact, you heard him talk about the pitching at the meeting the other day. I mean, this guy, I mean, I totally, yeah, you know what? My stepdad has a little dementia too. Uh, it's vascular dementia, so it's up in his head too. So he has like mini strokes a lot. So yeah, I mean, and the thing is with my dad, my brother and mothers were there for him while I was in the Navy, and same with my grandfather, man. I kind of, it was a thing that kind of soiled the Navy a little bit for me, is because I was supposed to be all of his grandkids, with the exception of one, were all in the military. Most of them were Army. I was going to be the only Navy guy in dress blues and Cracker Jacks, but everybody else is going to be in their Army outfits. And I was supposed to be a pallbearer. And I was in Hawaii. We were testing out new sonar on a ship, and I was part of the Halo detachment on there. And my OIC officer in charge wouldn't let me go because he said I was mission critical and I could not go. Well, then we get up to Alaska, and on the day of his funeral, they we landed in a fog bank, and we were in that fog bank for 5 days. And every minute that you're in a fog bank in a Navy ship, that horn blows every minute. Wah, and I mean it's loud. And I mean every time that horn blew, just freaking made me more pissed off. But I got over it. It shit happens. It took me a long time to go to his grave. It really did. Mainly because I'm named after him. His name is Richard Linthicum, and I always say my middle name is Richard, and I can be a dick because it's my middle name. So yeah, there's that. And let me see what we got here. Oh yeah, he Melvin, Agent Orange, and went to Camp Lejeune and drank the water. So I mean, they're also looking at maybe getting a settlement on that, but he's looking right now to get 100% disability from the military, which will set my mom up, even if he does pass away. It sets my mom up for the rest of her life. And yeah, so it's all good. Like I said, he's a great guy too. I mean, my dad couldn't have set up another guy to take over for him. And I always called him dad. Always said he's my dad. I rarely call him stepdad. I really do. Uh, if you watch that Brad Paisley video, that's a good one. That one always kind of gets me right there when it does. Uh, anyway, so enough of that. But anyway, so when it came time for me to retire from state of Colorado, I wasn't going to wait 2 years, man. I just said, bloop, I'm out of here. I'm going to Arizona. And I've been here for 5 years. Lived up in North Phoenix and Deer Valley area. Just because of school, I lived literally a block away from the school. So, I mean, I could throw a baseball and hit the school. And so I did that, and then got a job in Mesa working for the uh, Desert Wind Harley. Lou, the service manager there, Adam's the service manager there now. All the praise in the world to him. Those guys are good at what they do. They got a mechanic there named Matt Blewett. He drag races Buells. He and his wife are M&P Racing. If you ever go out down there to Horsetooth Pass or whatever and see the drag races down there, him and his wife are top tier drag racers. They go to Vegas every year, and but yeah, let's see what I got there. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of going through that right now with him. Right now he's at 70%. They're trying to get him up to 100. But yeah, so like I said, that's why I like doing this too. Like I said, is I could, even if I'm on a ride, you know, my mom knows if I hang up right away, she'll send me a text. And then usually when I'm done with that ride, I'll call her. What do you need? Do you need me right now? And I always tell her, that's why I work Scottsdale because they live in Mesa. They live 2 blocks away from me, or two stoplights. I say 2 stoplights away from me. And if they need me right away, that's why I like to work Southern Scottsdale, Tempe, and Mesa because I'm right there. If they need me, boom, I'm gone. After I complete a ride, that's why I don't take too many rides across town. I don't go. Now, the one time I did go to State Farm Stadium was in preseason, and I worked my way. I was preseason to watch the Broncos play the Cardinals, and I worked my way to the stadium, uh, doing Uber and Lyft, and basically made $175, which paid for tickets, parking, and the first beer. The only beer I had, and a hot dog. All that was paid for uh, by working my way there. So that's the only time I've been to State Farm. It was pretty cool. Like I said, I love the stadium. It's a good setup. Uh, Broncos need to go to the Super Bowl, so the Super Bowl that's here, so I can see them. Would love to going to a Super Bowl, man. Especially when your team is there, is freaking awesome. It is. When the Broncos were in San Diego playing the Packers, my bar, I told them, hey, if the Broncos win the AFC Championship game that year, I am not working the Super Bowl. I'm not. And our bar had a Super Bowl party, watch party and all that good shit. Had brought in big screens, rented big screens and shit like that, and had everything all set up. And they thought they were being funny because they had a Broncos side and Packers side, and they kind of, you had to buy tickets to come in to watch. And I already, I was like ticket number one, and they thought it'd be funny to sit me in the middle of Packers fans. I'll tell you what, I enjoyed Packers fans so much. Uh, Man, they brought in some food, freaking, and oh my god, I had bratwurst, freaking some good fucking cheese, and oh man, it was cool to sit with them. It was even more cooler because we were winning, and we won. But man, great even when they were up and stuff like that. Humility. I mean, they were humble fans. Yeah, they were rowdy. Don't get me wrong, they were, but they were humble fans in the fact that they saw I was a Broncos fan, and they knew. And I told them, "Hey, my bar played a trick on me, but I'm going to sit here and tough it out." And sure as shit, boom. Okay, sorry. Like I said, folks, what are we at here? Half an hour, man. Jeff does this really good. But so that's enough about my story. Like I said, came here. I do ride share. I have a Chevy Equinox, so I get the comfort rides. Uh, so going into Hum and stuff like that, and a lot of people, when you talk to them about it, the pay thing kind of maybe throws them off. But like I said, it's a buck a day, dude. I made, like I said, what did I just say? I made. Sorry. $269.66. So 29. Basically, I've almost got 10 months paid for. Probably tomorrow, I would have enough to have 10 months paid for. That's how much I made in 16 days. So you tell me 29 bucks a month is going to break you when you can make 10 times that in half a month? It's a no-brainer, man. No-brainer. And that's just it. So when we talk about doing the manual rides, and Jeff does this, is he doesn't care what Lyft is charging. He doesn't care what Hum is charging. He has what he is charging. And that's why when I put out that video a long time ago where you guys can research how much at least Uber, and you can see it on Lyft too, how much are people charging? How much are these apps charging people on certain rides? And the thing that sucks about it and why you can't gauge too much on what somebody might be getting paid for this or what they're paying for this ride versus maybe what the next guy's paying for about the same ride is that damn service fee or the Lyft fee, if you will. They're never the same. There's no consistency. At least with Hum, it's consistent, man. You're going to miss a couple, maybe $1, maybe $2 at the most off a ride because of insurance, you know, and that's just it. You know that every time. So I can gauge like, hey, if somebody tells me, hey, I want to go 10 miles, all right, that's probably going to be 10, 15, maybe takes us 20 minutes to get there. It's going to be about 20 bucks. You want to go 10 miles, 20 bucks. Boom. That's off the top of my head. That's not even looking at the actual. And that's just it. If I quote you 20 bucks, and it turns out that when I do manual ride, it says take $24 cash. I'm only taking 20 bucks because that's what I quoted the guy. I wouldn't have made that with Uber and Lyft. So, that's what you do. Now, it gets reported that, hey, you did this much of a ride, but, so it helps the company out. But, you always want to try and give them a deal and yet give yourself a deal too. Don't sell yourself short. Uh, yeah, I mean, if you, I think the XL package, you pay a little bit more to use the XL, but instead of $5, and here's what it is for sedan. I call it the $5 say hello fee. All right. So as soon as I show up to you, I start the ride. $5 is already there. Boom. Say hello. How you doing? Start the ride. Then it's $1 a mile, 25 cents a minute. Boom. So you can kind of look and say, okay, boom, boom, boom. And, don't forget to consider, hey, am I driving during rush hour? I might want to add something to that time thing. And that's what I tell them too, especially like even if they're doing a ride through the app, I would tell them, hey, just remember this is rush hour. They're telling me to take the highway. Now, I did save somebody some time one time just because I knew the highway was a parking lot. There were 3 accidents on the 60 going from where I needed to go to where they needed to go. And the Google Maps was telling me to take the 60, and I was just like, man, that's a fucking parking lot. I said, I can save you a lot of time, money, if I go straight down this side street, and it'll still cost you probably about the same because I'll be saving you tons of money instead of us sitting in a parking lot waiting to move an inch at a time. So, that's the great thing about this is you set your own price when you're doing a manual ride. And like I said, if that's what's great about it. And like I said, that's where you can. And I don't like doing it, but hey, I might, especially when summer starts to hit here and the kids go back home. And I think that's why I'm kind of seeing a little slowdown in my temporary area rides as well, is because kids are saving up to go back home. All right, for whatever, or their parents say, don't use so much Uber or Lyft right now because hey, we got to pay for you to get back home. All right, so I think there's a lot of that goes on. But yeah, so like I said, now XL is a $10 hello fee, $1.50 a mile. It's still I think still 25 cents a second. But so there you go. I mean, XL pays, and then when they get this Lux and Lux XL. I'm sure that's going to pay a pretty penny as well too. So it's good about, like I said, man, home. It just has me excited about how to work now. And like I said, I've had to change my way of thinking because, and Jeff is good about it. Jeff is. I'm going to sing his praises because he's just awesome to watch when he does this shit. But it's. I used to be, hey, short rides is where you make the money. You know, 2 and 3 mile rides where they're paying you 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 bucks a mile. Those are the rides you want to take. Don't take rides over 5 miles. Well, now I'm looking at a challenge of trying to, and I do it with Surge because if you do it with Surge, they're upping that price a little bit than they are then with no Surge. So I'm looking at taking those rides that say 15 for 20 miles and see if I can convert them. Yeah, I agree with you, Melvin. Definitely agree with you that granted I wasn't a part of it, but from what I'm hearing and everything else, yes, this is like the way it used to be, and I just think it's great, man. And it allows you to say, to set your own rates. That's what it allows you to do. Now, granted, you take rides off the app, you really can't set your own rate, but the rates pay and you get 100% of what it is. You're not splitting it with anybody. Hum is not taking their half, or their bite. They're just taking a small percentage and it's the same percentage ride after ride after ride. That's what I like. There's none of this flex shit, where 1 minute they're charging you $16.95 for a service fee, and the next time they owe you $1.98 on the service fee. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Like I said, Uber and Lyft have never provided how they come up with that fee. Now, I'll be honest with you, it's AI, and I think it has to do with. And if you notice, man, whenever you click on that and it says what your percentage service fee percentage is per week, and the average, you notice that the more you make, that percentage goes down. The less you make, the more that percentage goes up. Because they still want to get their slice of the pie off of you. They want to get your part. They want to get the worth out of you for being a slave to them. And yeah, I mean, it's just that's the one thing I agree with Jeff on too, man. These things are they treat people like slave labor, you know. And to say we can't handle 15 bucks an hour, you're paying people. You're actually saying that you're paying people more than 15 bucks an hour. So why can't you handle this? Uh, you know, it's just shady, and they're buying off politicians. Guarantee you that's what they're doing, and that's why they're stalling. Like I said, freaking the best thing that could happen to Minneapolis is they leave, and somebody can come in there, and ride shares can come in there and offer the same deal that Hum is doing. Minneapolis will freaking prosper. People will be flocking. And see, I really can't get this either, is because you got Minneapolis, but then you got St. Paul right next to it. St. Paul isn't saying shit about it, but it's just Minneapolis. So I don't know exactly how all that works. I mean, I know they're two different cities, like Dallas, Fort Worth. You got Dallas and you got Fort Worth. Boom. So uh, yeah, how all that works out, like I said, that's well above my pay grade to even fricking worry about. Like I said, best thing that can happen to me is they leave town. And hopefully somebody with the idea of home comes in there and treats the people right, for sticking it out. Uh, like I said, I don't know if it just affects Minneapolis or if it, like I said, I've never seen anybody from Minneapolis on Jeff's chat. I'm sure maybe there has been or whatever, but I've never seen anybody on his chat from Minneapolis. Would love to find out, what is really going on with that. Uh, like I said, I don't know where the airport is. That's probably because you fly into Minneapolis, St. Paul, but do you fly into St. Paul or do you fly into Minneapolis? That could have a big effect on it too. So, but like I said, I hope whoever comes in there just takes over. Yes, they are. They are. Yes. And here's my thing, and please, you can hit me up in the comments about this. But why do they always find the migrant driver? You know, why can't they talk to? They won't talk. You never hear about the cherry picking driver. You always see the migrant pigeon driver that they're interviewing. Oh yeah, we're losing money, and I think and like I said, this pigeon that we had at the meetup on Saturday, this guy, I take every ride, but I'm just not getting anything on him. And we flat out told him, hey, you're not. You know, one, work in Tempe, work in Scottsdale. If that's what if you want pings, that's where you got to go. But you're not going to get pings like you do on Uber and Lyft. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I had a little minor problem there. Yeah, exactly. They never talk to the smart driver. They never talk to the 300. I would love for somebody from the 300 to get interviewed, and just say, hey, people are having to work 80 hours because they're they're slaves. They're treated like slaves. And they're working 80 hours just to stay afloat because they're scared of getting deactivated. They're scared they're not going to get their hot dog. Sorry, I love that when Jeff talks about that. They're not getting their hot dog for being that diamond driver. Like I said, I was a diamond driver. And that's just it. I was taking everything, and I would see that $30 ride to take me from the airport to uh, Buckeye or Tolleson or whatever. It's, oh, $30, sweet. But then you get out there, half the time you don't have any reception, or you don't have enough bars, and hey, you can't even get a ride back from there. So then you have to drive to where you can get reception, and then come to find out where you just left there was a ride, but it was only going 5 miles. It wasn't taking you back into Phoenix or anything like that. So you would spend 20 miles just to maybe get another decent ride to maybe take me into downtown, that would maybe take me into Tempe, that would maybe take me back to Mesa. Or screw all that, just drive back to Mesa and call it a day. Now that's all on my dime. So that's why, yeah, I was that diamond driver that did that stupid shit. And then, like I said, and like I said, I did this with Hum too. Uh, I watched Jeff videos, man, like a hawk. I was watching that time because at least he puts the time in when he does it now. I noticed there was one guy in Chicago, easy peasy lemon squeezy guy. If you've ever seen one of his videos, the ride share master. Bless his heart, man. The guy's got some new vehicles too, so he toughed it out. But that guy would work a lot of hours and make the same pay that I was doing in 4 and 5. He was making a week. He was doing 70 some hours a week. I was doing 30, and we're making the same amount. Like, and then he was, well, I had to take a couple of days off because I wanted to spend with my family on Sunday, blah, blah, blah. Well, dude, you could be taking all the time if you were smart. And I was just kind of and granted, I tell you what, in Chicago, they were getting a better rate than we are on an initial no surge rides. They were getting well over $1 a mile on rides. I was just like, damn, dude, you're turning some of these down where I'd be like, holy shit, I'd love to have that ride. But yeah, so uh, yeah, they're afraid of the 300, all right, that's for sure. Uh, but yeah, like I said, and the only thing I found out great about being a diamond driver, and I really don't even miss it, that was just it. It's when I pull up to the airport, as soon as I freaking dropped the person off and said yes, I would take them again and blah blah blah, and give them their stars, and boom, thing I would get a ride. But like I said, it would be one of those long ass fucking nature hikes that I thought was a good ride. Hey, $30. Hey, I'm making $30. But I was also looking at the hourly part of it, and I think that's where you have to get out of that time frame of how much you're making an hour, and get into what are you making a mile, definitely, and what are you doing how many dollars a mile you are getting, and are you spending your time wisely? Um, like I said, if you guys saw the ride along I did make a mistake on that. I should have seen that guy was at the zoo, and I went clear around the freaking zoo, and it ended up taking a 20-minute ride into a 30-minute ride for $10. But it was close to where I was. I was just chilling, and it's close, and so. Oh yeah, and like I said, that's just it too. Is keeping low mileage on your vehicle, you know, and stuff like that. I mean, Jeff's philosophy makes sense. You know, if I'm driving for $3 a mile and I'm making 30,000 miles in a year, I should expect to be making 90,000 that year. So um, and well above. I think I live good. I don't live bad. That's for sure. I'm not sleep. I do sleep in my vehicle sometimes, and that's just because every now and then I do like to work overnight shifts, and every now and then, about if it dies out, like hey, you get everybody to the bar. Okay, now you got probably about 2 hour time span where before they want to come home, you got about 2 hours to kill. Sometimes, and sometimes that can be a long 2 hours. So I just hey, if they're not pushing them, I'll take a break, take an hour nap, freaking chill out. I put the windshield cover up in the front so you really can't see it. Everything else stays dark. It just looks like I'm parked somewhere, and recline the seat back and chill. Uh, but yeah, and I rarely do that. Don't get me wrong. When I have an overnight shift, I like to get a lot of rest before I even do it. But I mean, it has happened before where I was just like, you hit that lull of, hey, nothing's going on right now. And then boom, everything's going to pick back up again. So, I like to get a little rest in there when I can. Oh yeah, definitely, man. 27,000 a year. That's good. So like I said, even there, you're doing what almost 80. If you do 3 miles, 3 miles or $3 a mile. Sorry, I couldn't think. $3 a mile, Melvin. You're doing 75 plus. So hey, you're looking good, freaking. And that's just it. Is a lot of people, I think, where sometimes they give in is, and you have to have the patience. And I was talking about this. You have to have the patience to decline that $1.50 a mile. It looks good, man. See, but now what I'm doing and what I'm finding out with Hum is I can take that $1.50 a mile and maybe turn it into a Hum ride where I'm getting a lot better uh, pay at the end of that $1.50 a mile. So, you know, that's just, it's just a new way of thinking with Hum. For some of you guys that have been around a while, it's the old way of thinking for you. I do respect everybody that came before me. I do. You guys are the ones that freaking toughed it out through a pandemic where, holy shit, you had to fucking probably clean the fuck out of your cars after every ride. Holy fuck. Uh, and a lot of people weren't going anywhere, period. I admit, man, during the pandemic, I lived up in North Phoenix and I had to go to Mesa every day, half hour. After the pandemic and everything, and before the pandemic, 45 minutes to an hour. So I was loving the pandemic, man, because I was fucking just flying down the 101. And but yeah, so yeah, and like I said, the thing you want to do is, like I said, by keeping a low mileage on your car and watching your hours and shit like that, it allows you to keep that bottom line low. And that's what you want. I mean, you look at Jeff. I mean, he's got a supreme car. He's got a supreme Jeep, what I call Supremes. Uh, you know, he's got high dollar cars and the vehicles, but he takes care of them. He doesn't let that ding, ding, ding. what is that? I don't really feel anything. Car still works great. I'll keep going. All of a sudden, ding, ding, turns into clunk, 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 and now you're out big time. Where it would have maybe cost you, like I said, with him changing his motor mounts, with him changing wheel bearings or whatever he did here recently. Stuff like that. He notices. You know, he's able to sit there and say, "Hey, boom, all right, I know how to do this." And if I don't, you know, I always used to say, back when I was in Colorado, when I kind of worked on my own motorcycle on my own too, is uh, I learned how to freaking what the fuck do they call it? I learned how to what the fuck. Anyway, fix my clutch. A lot of times with a Harley and stuff like that, you get these people who love to get in parades or go down the streets and they love to rev them motherfuckers up. Well, you're sucking in the clutch, letting go, letting go. You're fucking around with your clutch. So I had to, adjust my clutch adjustment. I learned how to watch that, man, on YouTube. And basically, when you got a 65-inch screen TV that's a smart TV that you can watch everything life size, that when I'm watching somebody tear something down, I'm looking at it. I'm not having it like I am with this uh, right now, where I got to look down at the screen. Uh, but it was great doing that. And so, yeah, I mean, he takes care of his vehicles. He doesn't let small things become big things, and that's what keeps his bottom line down. I mean, because like I said, German parts aren't going to be aren't easy to find because you got to get them from Germany. Two, you got to pay for them to come from Germany sometimes. So yeah, I mean, it can. I mean, yes, there's eBay and all that other crap, but it can be a challenge to get foreign car parts. And then some of you guys that uh, and more power to you, man. Whatever. Something clear here. You do you. Don't do me. I'm not going to tell you how to do you. But if you got an older car, like say 10 years or older, a lot of companies, especially dealerships and everybody else, don't keep parts over 10 years for 10-year-old cars or older. I mean, we do it with Harley does it. You can't. A lot of the dealerships will not work on a bike that is older than 10 years. So, that's just it. And like I said, so back when I did over the road for about 2 years, and part of that was if the wheels aren't turning, you're not earning. All right. Now, I kind of had a little bit of that philosophy along with the hour philosophy when I first started doing this ride share. It's like, hey, I got to keep these wheels moving, but I want to keep them moving and when I was doing Uber Eats, I started out with Uber Eats, and I was like, man, if I can't make more than $17 an hour, I might as well just go work say, welcome to Taco Bell. How can what can I order? What can I get for you tonight? I might as well do that if I'm going to do $17 an hour. So I was doing between 20 and 25. I was going, I was working Mesa. I hated to go into Tempe just because of how everything around ASU was just so cluttered as far as picking up food orders. And so, if I ever had something where I had to pick up in Tempe, I would drive back to Mesa. I did not want to fool with Tempe and freaking eating. But so I did that, and then like I said, I got lucky, met this one guy that said, "Hey man, Uber Eats is nice. It's nice to fill in for like the lunch hour and stuff like that, but you need to do rideshare in the morning and in the evening if you want to make money out here." And it's like, oh wow, okay. So I did it, and then I was Uber, like I said, diamond driver, and then watched Jeff's channel. Said, hey, like I said, watch it with fine tooth comb. I was wanting to find a mistake. I was looking for a mistake, and I couldn't find one in his philosophy. I could not. So hey, I was like, man, this just makes sense. Why am I doing this? And then you know what? I started seeing it too. And yes, that AR started coming down. Uh, it took me a while to learn the Harriet Tubman, but I'm not going to say what that is. You have to email Jeff or email me. My last name, Gabel. That's Gary Alpha Baker Echo Lima Mary Tom Nancy at gmail.com. I'll let you know how to do the Harriet Tubman if you don't know how to do it. And let's see how we do. I think whoever, no, it must be you hitting all those hearts. Thank you for all the hearts, man. I appreciate the love. But and whoever else is watching, it looks like I got 2 people on. So whoever else is watching, man, please feel free to speak up. I don't care. But anyway, so did over the road. If they ain't turning, you ain't earning. But I was wanting to make so much an hour, and I was wanting to do 30 above $30. So I made myself a sheet, that said, hey, when you see this ride for this amount of money, this is a $25 an hour ride. This is a $30 an hour ride. This is a $40 an hour ride. This is a $45 an hour ride. And the difference sometimes was just $2. $2 would change from 25 to 45. So I was doing that, and I was only accepting those rides. And so I would look, and then, I would look at the price and the mileage, or the minutes. I looked at the price and the minutes, and I knew that hey, that was what I wanted. And I was only taking no more. I only had the scale go up to a half hour. I wouldn't take any rides that were longer than a half hour. So I started doing that, and then, like I said, I watched Jeff's channel. It's like, hey, I don't even need this anymore, because what I need to be doing is these $5, these less than 5 mile rides. And I see that he's doing them here. He's doing them downtown. Well, downtown Phoenix and me just don't get along. I don't like all the one ways, and I don't like the freaking all the construction that's going on down there. It's just not my cup of tea. So I don't go down there. Plus, and Jeff likes to go to. He goes to Gilbert and stuff like that. The reason I don't go to Gilbert and Chandler and stuff like that is, to me, at the time, now, like I said, I may have to, like I said, I'm changing my philosophy on all this, is everything was far away. Even for like Uber Eats, I didn't want to go into Gilbert and Chandler, because they would order something 10 miles away and only tip you $4. Wow, thank you. And that's why I got off Eats. I didn't like going to Chandler, just because where people order stuff and where the food was, it's just too far apart. And then you had to have one of those special bags to keep things warm. And that's how you got tips. I mean, that's how you increase tips or whatever, is because people I think were expecting their food cold if they ordered far away. But if you kept it inside one of those warming bags, it stayed warm. When I delivered food, man, it was warm. It was the same temperature as it left the freaking store. And that's just it too. Sometimes it took forever to get. It took 5 miles to get to the store to deliver 5 miles again. So you're doing 10 miles for $4. Not a profitable thing. So, like I said, started watching that, and then I was only doing Uber, and you know what? It was paying off. I mean, doing Jeff's philosophy was paying off with Uber. And then, I didn't like wanting to switch. I wanted to stay with just having one. Not that I was, quote the plantation here. I just wanted to serve one master. I didn't want to serve 2. But then I started seeing, it's like, hey, when this one isn't paying, this one is. So let's get that second app going. And did. And hey, that's just it. Now I've got a third app. Third app is using the other apps for referrals. That's what I'm doing. Tuesday, like I said, I work Monday morning, I got a Monday through Friday pickup pick him up at 4:30 every morning. So I got that. I take him about 16 miles for just over 20 bucks. So do that, and then I have a little time frame where I have to pick up this other gal in Scottsdale, take her on a 3 mile ride that pays $10, and She tips. So the ride I gave her yesterday, she tipped $5 on when she started the ride today. So I'll see tomorrow if she tips me another five. So she's paying $10 and she's tipping me five. You gotta love that lady. I mean, I'll drive her anywhere. I'll call her back. That's my mom. I'm gonna have to call her soon. But anyway, so what have we been on here? An hour. That's a good test run for me, guys. Melvin, I appreciate you, man, staying through all this. And I'm gonna have to cut it short because I'm gonna have to take a phone call, see what my mom wants, and hope you guys. I don't know if Jeff's gonna do a live stream here soon, but if he does, join that. Have fun. For the two people that showed up, well, now we got three. So, like I said, for the three people that tuned in, bless you. Thank you. Hopefully, we can grow some more. Thank you for the likes. And I'm going to sign off for now. Like I said, I got to take a phone call from my mom. And y'all have fun. Take it easy. I'll see you guys again soon. And like I said, my main thing here is to keep that positive energy going when Jeff can't because, due to freaking his obligations. I mean, he's got a lot. You got to love that. All right, guys, take care. Love you.